Hi, welcome to the Fast Friday Facts for August the 7th, 2020. Glad to have you with us today. I'd like to begin today's update by saying thank you to all the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, and anyone else who's guardian of one of our students. You've provided us with the information we needed to start organizing classes for the coming year. For those of you who made trips to schools to complete the forms, we appreciate your commitment as well. I also want to thank our school teams who've worked to synthesize the information and start building classes and the rosters that go with those classes. Thank you for making calls to families who needed some additional help getting their forms in. For those of you out there who don't know, building a schedule and class rosters is no easy task. But because our families have provided the needed information, and because our school administrators, our counselors, our teachers, and our support teams have worked so hard, those things are starting to come together. Next Wednesday, August the 12th, our teachers return to school. The next 8 to 10 days for them will be some intense learning and preparing for a unique year. I'm so excited to know how committed our staff is and how excited they are to be ready to come back and go to work. For many of our staff, they'll be learning some new ways of teaching using an interactive distance model, something that they're excited about doing, but they may not have done before. And for almost all of our staff, they'll be overcoming fears and concerns that they have for their students, for their families, and for themselves as they return to the work environment. But because of the commitment of our teachers, our counselors, our instructional assistants, our front office staff, our bus drivers and monitors, our cafeteria teams, our custodial teams, our maintenance crew, and our school administrators, Garrett County students are going to have an opportunity for great learning experiences during the 2020-21 school year. This week, Camp Dick Robinson Elementary and Paint Lick Elementary had registration days, and it was a lot of fun to see cars with students in them coming back on our campuses. As you know, we continue to monitor guidance and requirements for the return to school. This week, I was encouraged by the support we have from our Judge Executive, John Wilson, from our Lancaster Mayor, Marshall Norton, from Doctors Green and Workmeister, and the continuing support from the Garrett County Health Department. However, we continue to be unsure of the support from Governor Beshear. As I listen to his comments and as I try to read between the lines, I get an uneasy feeling about what might lie ahead. With the extension of the mandatory mask order for another 30 days, with the limits placed on the state fair, with the reporting emphasis on cases in children, I can't help but wonder if an extension of the limits of in-person learning are coming. It's probably not the best idea to talk about something that hasn't happened, but I feel an obligation to our community to be as transparent as possible. I want to see in-person learning in our schools. I want to see it start on August the 26th, and I'd love to see it never close again. That would mean we managed the opening well, had commitment from our students and staff, and we kept everyone healthy. But the truth is, if the governor recommends an extension of no in-person learning, we'll have to pivot to an all-interactive distance learning pathway. Should that recommendation come, we'll announce the switch as soon as we can. Our board knows about our concerns regarding a potential announcement and will comply with the governor's recommendation. If this happens, all of our staff will be prepared for interactive distance learning. But we will also keep all the information you've provided, and the moment we have a green light for in-person learning, we'll transition back to it. We'll use the information you've provided for us and the systems our schools have built. All students who've committed to in-person learning will be able to return to school, and all students who've committed to interactive distance learning will continue in that pathway once that option is available to us to return to school. I wish I wasn't talking about a possible delay of in-person learning, but I believe we owe it to you to keep you as informed as possible. At this moment, the recommendation to prolong the suspension of in-person learning has not come, and I hope it never does, but unfortunately I fear it will. So enough wallowing in the potential delay of the in-person learning. Now we move on to building the best learning possible for our students, whether in person or at a distance. We are investigating some unique ways to provide additional supports to students if we do have to go to learning at a distance. And if we do move to that model, we'll keep you updated on how we'll continue to support our students. Again, I hope we don't have to make that transition, but we want to be upfront and honest with you as we think that that could be a possibility. Should that transition need to occur, we'll make sure that we keep you informed and we'll update you just as quickly as we possibly can. Thanks for joining. I know we've probably created more questions than we've answered today because of that. But as of this moment on Friday, we still plan to go to school, and we'll deal with any consequences or any changes should they come. And if we have those changes, we'll make sure that you're aware of it. Thanks for joining us today. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer anything that I possibly can. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great weekend.